What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Water Park. So I'm over 18, right? In fact, I'm actually 19, which means that I can work the tops of slides at the park that I worked at, right? Now this is like the shit. Just for a little background, our water park has tube slides and body slides, which means on body slides you bring your body, tube slides you bring your tube. It's that simple. You need one or the other. So the thing about working at tops of slides is that it's really high up. Like, you can see the whole park. There's nice shade because you have a roof. There's always a nice breeze because I promise you it gets too hot. It's always like 102 damn hot degrees out there. And plus, there's no supervisors constantly watching you, so you have a lot of freedom, right? This is like being a Walmart greeter. I literally just stand there and I get to talk to people. Now granted, I mean, I do show them like how to go down the slide properly, but that's literally it. Like, when they get on the slide, whatever they do from that point on ain't my fault. So it don't really matter. As long as they go down the slide how I showed them, you can like do a flip in there and it's not on me, right? So just working at the top of slides is like the shit. Or, I mean, so I thought, right? Now this mainly pertains to tube slides, right? So I remember one day I was working at the top of a tube slide and I noticed this larger couple. They're on the hefty side, right? So I noticed this larger couple heading to the top of the slide I'm working at. Now, normally it's not a problem. I have nothing I mean, they can ride. There's no technical weight limit on the slide I was working, so they can come on up. The only problem I had is that I saw two of them only carrying one tube. And I'm like, okay. Now what you guys don't realize is that if they're only carrying one tube, that means both of their asses is getting in that one tube. And that's no bueno, right? Because this is what happens, right? So, mind you, after they struggle to get to the top of the stairs, because mind you, I'm at a tall slide. It's going to take some effort for you to get up those stairs. After they struggle to get to the top of the stairs, they get in the slide, right? Now the slide, you normally, once you get in, you push yourself and you go and down the slide, right? After I show you how to go down, make sure you're doing it right, all that good stuff, right? So, this is not the case for this couple, right? So they get up there, right? And so they're next. I'm like, okay, you can choose a slide, because I let them choose. It doesn't matter. It was two, so, I mean, they're both the same, so it didn't really matter anyway. I was like, go ahead, choose a slide, right? They choose a slide, and they're sitting there, right? So I send the people that's next to them, I tell them, all right, you guys are good to go. I had to make sure it's clear at the bottom and stuff. And so they're sitting there, and I'm like, all right, guys, you guys are good to go. Now, mind you, after I said that, I assumed that they were going to go, right? I started talking to the next people in line. I'm like, okay, guys, you can choose whatever slide you want. And the guys behind these guys choose a slide they didn't choose. That's it, right? And so I turn back around. I'm like, guys, what are you still doing here? You guys can go. And they're like, oh, we can go now? I'm like, yes. Yes, you can go. That's what you can go means. And so, mind you, the husband, right? It was like, I'm assuming the husband, boyfriend, male partner, doesn't matter what it was, right? So the guy, right? He goes to like start to push the tube down the slide. And mind you, I'm like, okay, he's got it. He's going to push him down. All of a sudden, I hear the girl say, push us. Me, I'm like, push us? Us? Who pushing? No. What? Fuck you mean push us? Push yourself. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, she can't be serious. And she says it again. She's like, push us, push us. And so mind you, the guy, he stops pushing, right? Because, okay, he wasn't really going nowhere. But he stops pushing. And so he looks at me too. He's like, yeah, push us, push us. I'm like, push? I look at the people online. I'm like, are they talking to y'all? No. My job description is to serve and protect. Nah, that's like military, right? It's to help you if you drowning. Like that's what I'm here for, and to show you how to go down the slide so you don't kill yourself, right? And so they're like, push us, push us. I'm like, seriously? I'm thinking to myself, like, do I really have to push these people? So I'm like, okay, I go over there. Mind you, I'm not the biggest person, right? I got a little bit of muscle, but I can't bench like 450, right? And so I go over there and I'm grabbing onto the handles, literally trying to drag them down the slide, not moving, right? And so I'm guessing after they assumed me watching, after they had seen me watching and struggling for like a good 5 minutes, like literally I'm holding up the line at this point, just trying to get them down the slide. After they saw me, right, they were just watching the whole time, me struggling. No one tried to help. They were just waiting, pacing, like, oh my God, we're next. I'm like, if y'all don't get y'all hefty, hungry hippo looking look, help me push. I'm like, this miracles don't come true. Like, I need some help. And I was like, look, I'm sorry. I was like, if I can't push you, I was like, if you guys can't push yourselves, then you guys have to ride in separate tubes, or you guys have to go back down the stairs. And that's basically what it came to. Like, after straining and almost throwing out my back, 5 fucking minutes later, I'm like, look, guys, I tried. Okay, I'm a good trier. My mom has always told me I was. But I mean, trying is only like half the battle. I couldn't actually make nothing happen. I was like, look, guys, the problem is the tube's not floating, right? The water level is only but so high, but the tube's like filled with air, so it's supposed to float. But if you have a certain amount of weight, that shit's just, it's like just a rock, and you can't move it. I'm like, guys, look, we gonna have to work together. That's what I told him. I was like, look, guys, we gotta work together. You guys push from the back, I'll pull from the front, right? I'm like, so finally, after moaning and groaning, some people in line, it took like 4 people in line to help me push them down the slide. And I'm thinking in my head, like, yo, if this isn't a reality check for you people, then I don't know what is. Like, obesity is a really big problem in America. And I promise you, I have nothing against overweight people. I promise I don't. I just don't like lazy people. Yo, they could have easily helped us push them down the slide. They just fucking watched. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, this, I'm like, this is not what I'm getting paid to do. Like, I'm not trying to throw out my back every time I come to work. I remember after that, right after my shift, I go down there and talk to my supervisor. I was like, yo, you won't believe what happened to me on the slide. I'm like, I had to pull these fucking 300-pound each people down the slide. And he's like, you know you don't have to do that, right? I was like, what? I'm like, what do you mean I don't have to do that? He was like, yeah, if they can't push themselves, they have to walk down. I was like, bullshit. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's what I told him at the top. But, I mean, I was fully, like, prepared to get in trouble for telling them that. But I didn't know, like, I literally didn't have to pull them. So I'm like, great. Great. You wait until after I go through that shit to let me know. Wow. Y'all are something else.